One of the other exercises I use that is more practical when it comes to actually holding the stick, I'll hold my hands out, make sure I'm looking at them, make sure I'm doing this correctly, and specifically the right hand. And if you're doing match grip, so if you're playing the quint, which is the multi-toms, or any kind of tenor, right? This is the kind of form you're going to more than likely use. And what that is just going up and down, all right? So this is the motion that you would use to actually play your drum, all right? I would not advise to go all the way down. And the reason for this is when you play, you can't really go all the way down, right? It's a drum, all right? So in this particular instance, you're going to go up and you're going to stop here, right? Just to get the practical motion of drumming. All right, when you hold your stick, you'll see in a second, I put the stick in my hand and it's the exact same motion that you would use to go up. All right, that, I'm not sure what to call it, but you can make whatever name you want for it. But in this particular sense, we're just gonna call it the wave. The hand wave, that's it, hi, okay? That's what it's gonna be for now. Once you put the sticks in your hand, the only difference here is instead of your hand being straight, you're holding it. And you'll see that there is kind of an angle, a V shape to it. And the reason for that is because that is really just the shape of your hand, okay? Once you put that stick in your hand and it's straightforward, you're holding something, it's really the same as you doing this. The only difference is I put my hand down and I pick that stick up in the fulcrum grip. That's the only difference. Up, down, up, down. You see that? When you go to play, it's the same motion you're going to be using. All right. So you can practice that. You can make sure you have that form really good. And the same thing applies if you're doing traditional grip on the snare drum. All right. What you would want to do, again, you have that stick in here. We've gone over that fulcrum. Okay, the only difference, you're not moving up and down with that left hand, you're moving side to side. All right, so the same thing applies, but when you hold the stick, you notice how my hand is the palm facing up. My palm is open when I'm holding the stick. The only difference is that my fingers, and specifically that fulcrum, is holding on to the stick to make sure that I'm supporting the motion of it. All right, you do not want to start here, because when you're holding the stick, this is not how you start to play. Okay, you want to start palm facing up. All right, once you put the stick in, you want to go up. So when the stick is not in your hand, you can always practice. There is never a time that you cannot practice. You might not have sticks at this moment, but these are exercises you can do whether you have sticks or not. Remember, anything that you practice is just like working out. It's just like working out. You just have to develop your muscles. You can work out with weights, or you can work out utilizing calisthenics, which is your own body. And in this particular instance, it's no different. You want to develop the muscles in your forearms, in your arm, in your hand, so that you will have an easier time playing the drums. Now, that is not the only aspect of playing drums, of course, but it will definitely help you when it comes to strengthening and having control over your sticks. So with the left hand, you're starting here, because guess what? When you hold the stick, that's where you'll be. You're going to go back as much as you can. All right. It might not seem like much, but one thing you can do as well is make a fist if you do not have sticks, and try to go as far back as you can to bring that stick up. All right. And this, it's almost like a stretch as well as getting used to that motion. Now let's see how it looks once I put the stick there. You see that? I'm here. Okay. All I'm doing is bringing my wrist up. All right. So you want to have your palm facing up. You don't necessarily want to have it flat. You want to kind of have it at an angle. All right. Because naturally, again, your hand will naturally sit at that angle. So you want to remember, you want to try to replicate how your hand will be without the stick. Now, the most ideal scenario, of course, is to practice this with a stick, because that will give you the most realistic effect, of course. But if by any chance you do not have a stick right now, then I understand.